Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to Tom's Garage again. Woo! Today, pow, it's a Dewalt pressure washer. Pressurized washer. All right. Feller said this thing's been sitting for a year or two in his garage. Said it won't crank, so you know what that means. Probably gonna need a good fuel system cleaning. So let's do it. Let's do it. First thing we're gonna do is check the oil, of course. Check the oil, of course. Leather rag. Okay. Oh yeah, it's full. Yeah, it looks pretty clean too. Yeah, look at there. Looks pretty good. Okay, let's spin this bad boy around, let it present its carburetor to us. All right, make sure the switch is on. Make sure the fuel is on. Give it a choke. Well, we're gonna take it off choke because we're gonna squirt some carb cleaner in it and see if it'll fire and die. That way, if it does, we know we got good compression, we got fire, and we just have a fuel problem. Phew, I can smell it already. Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah, I can smell it already. Goodness gracious. Okay, take choke off, fuel on, switch on. Give it a pull. Okay. We know it's a fuel problem. I can already smell it. Let's get the carburetor pulled off of there. We'll grab our favorite carburetor cleaning pan. Yay! Drain the fuel tank and clean the carburetor. Clean the carburetor. Whew, boy, you can smell it. Goodness gracious. In this bowl, on this carburetor, when we put it back together, we're going to have this drain plug out here, I think. Yeah, you can get to a lot better out here than you can way over there. That's what we'll do. Pull the carburetor off. Don't lose the nuts. Take this vent hose off. And you'll have to pull the choke and fuel lever out here to get this thing to slide off. Same time, pull that vent hose. Ooh, look at that. Hell. Yeah, we're gonna let that carburetor soak in the vat for a little while. Ooh. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Get the hose clamp taken out back a little bit. Go in there and get that fuel line taken off. We can do it without damaging the fuel line. Kind of force it up and off. Oh, let's see, we can't get to that fuel line anywhere to crimp it. See what kind of condition the fuel tank is in. Get that off there. Grab a flashlight. Yeah, the fuel tank looks pretty good. See, it's completely full. Let's see, we need to get this thing draining. Let's see, I think what I'll do is grab all the pipe. We'll pull that back and get that thing draining in that bucket right there. Get it out of that little holder. Pull it up. Pinch it off. There we go. And let's see, I'll pull this. Try not to hurt the gasket. Grab me a little screwdriver. Half the gasket is sticking to the carburetor and half the gasket is sticking to the engine block. I don't want to damage the gasket. There we go. I believe we got it. Nope, still sticking. Sticking in one little spot. We got it. Let's see, we'll pull the throttle linkage and the throttle spring out of there, return spring. Look at there. Maybe we can force it around it. I'm gonna try to get this little bowl off right here. I believe. No, I think we can get it. Good grief. Well, I've got it wedged in there now. Why would I do that? Why would they do that? So now we're going to have to get one of these studs off. No big deal. Put two nuts back on there. There we go. Just stud out of there. He says, yeah, he put fresh fuel in it, but people don't understand they're putting fresh fuel on top of what's in here. Try to get that. Little shoulder right there don't want to come out. Huh. Well. We'll just screw that back in a little bit for the time being. Let's see, I wonder if I can get this piece of pipe on there to try to help guide. Well, there ain't no way to hold it. Let me get a block of wood and put it on the back of it. That way we can tilt it forward and won't be hitting the frame right there. There we go. How much fuel do we have left in it? I'm gonna have to, oh yeah, it's still over half full. I'm gonna have to dump that. I hate to turn my back on that thing. I always forget about it. Let's carry this thing to the, well, let's get this gasket off here. See if we can get this off without damaging it. It's already trying to damage right there. I don't want to cut into the gasket. There we go. Just like that. Stick this back on the engine over here. Well, we'll wait before I put that gasket back on there. I have to pull that stud back off. Okay. Okay, let's carry this thing to the door and blow some of that schmutz off of it. Whew. Wonder how lucky we can get pulling that off. Oh yeah. Yeah, we got it. Doesn't look too awful bad, that's good. This is what I'm concerned about right here. Just crack it like an egg. Oh yeah. Full of jelly. We'll see if we can use a little bit bigger end, get a little bit better bite on it. Nope, that's too big. Very careful. All right, there it goes. Here comes the train. How lucky can we get trying to get that emulsion tube out of there? There it goes. It's trying to work with us. That's good. Now we'll get this jet out of the secondary idle circuit. You can see the dirt line, how far this thing was screwed in. Try to do this in a way you don't hurt them little O-rings on there. There it goes. Yeah, it looks good. I'm gonna leave this O-ring in there because I don't want to have to try to dig it out. That carburetor vat shouldn't hurt it if I don't leave it in there no more than maybe 15 minutes. Okay, well, let's go ahead and blow through it. Well, that's clogged completely up. That should come out there, and then you got another hole going down through here, and it should come out the side right there. Try to give it a brief little cleaning here before we soak it. Here it goes. There we go. Now we'll go down, and then we'll come this way. Watch it come out the side. All right. Whew, running all down my elbow. Make sure this is flowing free. Blow all over your chest. Okay. Now we'll take the carburetor cleaner here. Let's see who get this thing. This thing soaking. Pop as much of that out of there as we can. Break up some of that. Looks pretty good. Okay. And we'll go through here and punch through some of these little holes. If I can hit the hole. Ooh, I gotta get some stronger glasses. These three little holes. I used to have to thread needles for my grandmother when I was a kid, and this is what it reminds me of. All right. Like that. Anything else we need to throw in there? Nope. All right, little carburetor, we'll see you in a few minutes. Let's see, it is 11:30. Now we'll clean this little jet. Make sure that's open. Okay. It's pretty clean. It's not as bad as I thought it was. It's not bad at all, really. I'm gonna let this bob around inside the vat here. Oh yeah. Okay, got our little bits and bobs. Pick this stuff up before I lose that. Where's the other one? Did I have the other one down here? Nope. Okay. All right, boys and girls, let me hit pause. I'm gonna let this thing soak for about 15 minutes. See, I told you I was gonna forget about that. Okay, we'll let this finish draining. There's still some left in it. I've got it tilted forward, and that pickup is right there. Okay. See you in 15 minutes. Well, before I do that, this thing has got to where it's just barely dripping. I had to pour it in there. But look, this thing is still well over half full. And there's the pickup screen. I bet it's clogged. Let's blow a puff of air through this thing and see if we can get it flowing again. Just a little puff of air. There it goes. There it goes. It's flowing now. I'm glad it clogged up because I would have completely forgot about it and it would have just overflowed. All right, see y'all in 15 minutes. All right. It's been about 15 minutes. But I kept having to blow air through that hose to get it to continue to drain. So I don't know if there's a problem with the fuel line or the problem with the fuel screen, or maybe it's just got so much junk in it. It's all drained out now. Still a little bit right there. Let's grab the turkey baster and get out whatever's left in there. I washed out that air filter housing. That's why this turned black. Okay, that's about as empty as we're gonna get it. I'm gonna pull that fuel tank off. We'll let that carburetor continue to soak while we do this. Yep. You've got two nuts on this side, which I ain't gonna be able to get this in here. Let's set all this stuff out of the way. Out of the way. Okay, got them two nuts off. Let's pull this little hose clamp off here, because we'll have to fish that back through there under that. We'll try to avoid taking this cover off, because you probably can't get it off because of this bar. And you got one more little bolt right there. I could take that spark plug off and go through there with the impact driver. which I may end up doing. I got a feeling this bolt right here is pretty long. There, it feels pretty loose there. If I can get my finger in there and unscrew it. Huh, now it starts dripping again now that it's empty. So I want to take that spark plug out. My luck, I drop this little screw down in there. Oh. There we go. And this thing, set that right there. That's going to be, looks like a ½ inch. We're going to unscrew that. Figure out what's going on there. Maybe a 12. Let's grab a 12 and see if it's a 12. Here's a 12. Yeah, I got nicer tools than this. This is for one of the first ones I just grabbed. Hose right there, that little hose clamp's going to be getting in the way. Let's go ahead and pull this. Pull this out of the way. Go ahead and get this fuel line taken off. That's open and clear. I can get a socket on that. Yeah. Let's see. We really need a deep well, 12 millimeter, but I believe this will be good enough. Get out here and look. I believe all that stuff in the bottom of that tank was just collecting in here and kept clogging this thing up. Yeah, you can see stuff all over it. Let's blow it out with the air hose. Yeah, you can see all that. You can see all that goo. Let me grab my can of carburetor cleaner here and we'll spray some of that through there. Well, we know that's clean. Make sure you don't lose that O-ring right there. Just gotta stay in there like that. About blew it out with the air hose. Okay. Let's take this tank over there and blow it out real good. I guess I could have wiped it off first. Blow it out with Angelica's blower. That's a heavy little fuel tank. see what we got. Let's carry it over here and shine a light in it. Oh yeah, that's nice and clean now. Sure is. Oh yeah. Nice and pretty. Nice and pretty. Make sure you still got the O-ring. Make sure you don't cross thread it. I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna hold it like that because I don't want that O-ring to unseat itself. Yeah. I'm gonna go find a Dewalt 12mm here. It don't take me too long. Dewalt 12mm. No, I don't know if I got one or not. Let's see. Where's Dewalt 12mm? 7/16. Little 12mm. Dewalt 12mm. You know, I don't think I got a Dewalt 12mm. Well, I probably do. This would take an hour and a half to dig it out. Yeah, let me do that. Let me hit pause real quick. I got to dig. I hardly ever need a 12mm deep well. Hang loose 1 second. Yeah, we'll just use a 1/2" deep well. I ain't going to waste time trying to find a deep well 12mm. Shine the light, make sure that O-ring is still seated where it needs to be. It ain't got to be super duper tight. There we go, that's good. That's tight. Let's see, that was sitting like that. That needs to go around here like that. And we'll swing that around this way. Slide that back on. Piece of fuzz on my pliers. All right. It'd be just like that. That's a heavy little fuel tank to hang on to when your hands are all greasy. Perfect. Perfect. Now we'll try to feed this back through there. Grab my little screwdriver and kind of guide it. Get the studs back in there. Set that back down like that. Okay. Now we'll get this little bolt started back. Let's go ahead and get that carburetor out of there. Let it be drip drying. drip drying while we bolt this back together. Yeah, next time I go to Lowe's, I think I may pick up me a good metric set of deep well quarter drive sockets. Craftsman brand, I like that brand. It's all Chinese anyway. Or Harbor Freight probably has a good set. A little cheaper. Yeah, this is, I could take that bolt out and that one, move this aside a little bit, but it's probably seized in that aluminum block. Uh-oh. Manny. All right. Somebody's bringing me some money. And I don't mind a bit. I'll tell you, them birds and squirrels out there are going nuts for some reason this morning. For some reason. All right, I just ran over my gasket. Okay, fuel tank's back on, everything's good. Let's put this little, what do I do with it? There it is. Squeeze this little clamp back on there before we forget. Okay, let's clean this carburetor. Well, I left my carb cleaner over there by the door. Well, I think that's amazing stuff right there. I mean, it'll clean something in just minutes. Blow it off. set this over here. I don't like putting rubber and gasket stuff in that vat. It says not to, but I hadn't seen it hurt anything yet. Whoop. About blowed it right in there. Hold this up to the light, make sure it's completely open. It is. And use a dirty screwdriver to put that together with. Not real tight. Use a little carb spray as lubricant. Stick it back in the hole. Make sure it goes all the way down. You can see the dirt ring right there, so you know exactly how deep it was screwed in. What do I do with my favorite screwdriver? Right there. And you can look at that and even tell if it was on top or... Okay. Hot dog, get it, boy. Like I said, I want to put this pointing that way. You can get to the plug better. The screen looks perfectly clean. Sits in there just like that. Yeah, I try to take these little bowls off before and they just bust into pieces. Made out of thin pot metal. There, that's not enough. Okay, we are good. We are good. Okay, let's see. The gasket goes first. It goes like that. And then this one goes on like that. Put the stud. How do we do that? Put that on first. Like that. Like that. Get the fuel line started. Not crazy tight. Go ahead and get the throttle linkage hook back up. If I can reach it. And we'll get the spring hook back up. I can't even see the hole. Where's the hole? There it is, way back there. I should have done this first before I put that rod on there. Okay. Let's see, move the camera. I don't want to stick my hairy elbow in your way. That makes some people angry at me. Make sure that's all the way up. Yeah. All right. Don't forget the choke lever. It goes like that. And don't forget the gasket spacer. It goes like that. And we'll stick this back on. Where's it hitting? Okay. Put the hose back on there. Right. Okay. Turn the fuel on. Give it some throttle. Put some gas in it. And grab the gas can. Grab my gas pump. Sing it, little birdie. That should be enough air. That's about a half a tank. Put that drain back in there. Hang this back on this peg. Let's see, fuel is on. Let it sit here for a minute. Make sure we don't have any leaks. Just back over there. What have I done here? complicated gas cap. Okay. Let that be filling up. There's the table. All right. Anything laying around on the table? Let this thing run for just a minute. Give it a choke. Switch is on. Throttle up. Gas is on. Hey y'all, bust my elbow on something. Starving for fuel there for a minute. Now she finally got full. Well, all right, boys and girls, that's a carburetor cleaning on a Honda GX200. Pile. Dewalt pressure washer. And there you have it. And thanks for watching another Tom Louie video. I'm gonna take it out there and hook the hose to it, let it run for a little bit. Make sure it's gonna be all right. Whew, y'all be good. Thanks for watching another Tom Louie video. Take your vitamins, eat your vegetables, love each other, smile on your brother. Holler if you need me. And by golly, we'll catch y'all on the next one.